Welcome back to our channel and Karawa's journey in Alaska.
Cheers, Ketchikan. Lovely day today. I'm only wearing one layer of long sleeves, and we're on our way, continuing north.
In southeast Alaska, float plains are everywhere, but they're particularly prevalent in Ketchikan, where they take off next to you, towards you, and from pretty much anywhere. In this episode, we go from Ketchikan up to Santa Ana Inlet, where we hide from a big storm that comes in. We were there for 4 nights. After that, we left, went up through the Baker Channel and around and into Wrangell for 2 nights. From Wrangell, we crossed over and went up the Wrangell Narrows past Petersburg. From Petersburg, we went over to Ruth Island. From Ruth Island, we crossed over and headed towards Cannery Cove, a beautiful spot that we were to visit twice during this trip up to Alaska. From there, we headed up to the Tracey Arm and Endicott Arm area, anchoring in the No Name Cove, then up to the north and south Sawyer, coming back, overnighting in No Name, and then going down Endicott Arm to see the Dawes Glacier, and from the Dawes Glacier we went into Ford's Terror and stayed for 2 wonderful nights. What an amazing view that was. From there we came out and headed up to Taku Harbour to take a look at it, and from there we went in to Juneau, and that is our journey in this episode.
So this is the calm before the storm, which is forecast to arrive this afternoon. And we are in Santa Ana Inlet, hoping to have some protection from the storm.
Once the storm was past, it was time to get down to some boat jobs. The Kallenborg horn had stopped working, even though we'd had it repaired in Anacortes. I went up on the top of the flybridge and drained out some water, but also found that the drains were not in the lower part of the installation. Unlike on a lot of other boats, the horns were not facing downwards, so they didn't immediately drain. In any event, I didn't succeed in fixing it, and fortunately we have reserve air horns that we can use and remain in compliance. After 4 days in Santa Ana, it was time to move on to Wrangell. It was an overcast day, and it was to be a foggy and wet day as we went up towards Wrangell.
Here we are arriving close to the Annan Bear Sanctuary. As you can see, I don't think we're going to be seeing any bears today. We're about to go into Blake Passage. I think it's called Blake Passage. So we have to go through this narrow gap, and it's low tide in an hour, so the current is running against us at maximum speed at the moment. So this is the Narrows at the end of the Eastern Passage approaching Wrangell. It's very foggy, raining quite hard, and the current is 100% with us. Here we are leaving Wrangell. I think it's Heritage Harbour that we've been in. You can see it's patchy fog, but heading out into the wilderness. So we're trying to decide if we're going to go into the fuel dock or not, but visibility is less than a quarter of a mile. We're kind of hoping that it'll clear. It's not looking very good at the moment. These carrier are getting refueled in Wrangell, Alaska. It's low tide, which is why the boat is all the way down there. Captain's duties.
Let me take you on a journey through the Wrangell Narrows. It's a 22-mile-long marvel in southeast Alaska. It's often called the Christmas tree lane for the dazzling array of navigational lights. At its tightest, the channel squeezes to just 100 yards wide, has shallow shoals and rocky hazards which demand precision navigation. There are over 60 buoys and beacons marking the way that guides mariners through serpentine twists, and where if you make a single misstep, it could spell trouble. It's not just the narrowness of the channel that tests us. It's also the dynamic forces of nature. The tides and currents here are relentless. The ranges often exceed 20 feet, and the narrows can see currents ripping through at up to 7 knots, which will push even the sturdiest of vessel off course. For mariners, these conditions demand respect. Timing, of course, is everything when you're navigating strong tidal flows, and the currents can pin boats against the shoals. The best time to enter and transit the Wrangell Narrows is at slack tide, that brief window when the tide shifts and the currents slow to a near standstill. This typically occurs around high or low tide, lasting only minutes, so consulting the tide tables and planning meticulously is critical. For most vessels, like we were, entering from the south end, near Petersburg around high slack is preferred, as it provides deeper water over the shoals, especially in the northern half. Transiting, of course, takes about 3 hours, depending on vessel speed, so starting just before slack ensures calmer conditions for most of the journey. Local knowledge or detailed planning is crucial, because there are over 70 turns. It's framed by dense forests and snow-dusted peaks. It's a breathtaking passage, and it's alive with the pulse of the wilderness of Alaska. For the locals, it's a backbone of daily life, for their goods to be ferried in as well as for fishing. And it's an adventure of untamed beauty for us visitors. But the key to mastering this channel lies in timing those tides and respecting the currents and embracing the channel. It's not just a route, it's a testament to skilled resilience and the enduring spirit of Alaska's last frontier. Came out of St. Petersburg and
We were heading to LeConte Glacier, but we don't even have to go to the glacier because the icebergs are coming to us. It felt like it.
yeah, because of the wind.
Yeah. Coming into Thomas Bay, which is quite close to Petersburg, Alaska. The wind suddenly whipped up. There were icebergs floating in the fairway. So this is where we come into hideout. Getting back into Frederick Passage. I think it's Frederick Passage or Frederick Sound. It's been overcast this morning, and I can tell you it's very cold for us. This is called the Cannery, and this is where we're going to go for the night. In there. Another boat wants to go for the night.
Cannery Cove is a scenic bay located in Pybus Bay on Admiralty Island. It's about 30 miles south of Juneau and accessible only by boat or float plane. The cove is calm and a popular anchorage for boaters and kayakers. Its name originates from when there were canneries there. Quite often you see bears.
Yeah, we are just entering Tracey Arm, and we've got icebergs already. That thing's the size of a house. See the green buoy just in front of it. I think we have to go around that. Around. Because the red buoy is over there. There's the red buoy. It's huge. I think so.
It's like a big slushy. Like it looks in terms of the consistency.
No thanks. How far down can you see? Quite away.
Franks.
Hey?
I said from you back.
Oh, yeah.
Tracey Arm is a stunning fjord. It lies 45 miles south of Juneau, and its entrance opens into Holcomb Bay off Stevens Passage. It's a narrow 30-mile-long waterway and is a gateway to jaw-dropping scenery and the twin Sawyer Glaciers at the head. The entrance itself is both challenging and thrilling for mariners, marked by rocky shoals and strong tidal currents, and, in this case, icebergs carved from the glaciers that often float near the mouth, adding to the spectacle, but also the hazard.
Icebergs everywhere,
Yeah.
going up Ketchikan Volume Glacier. Using the AP51 extension.
This is North Sawyer Glacier. No longer a tidewater glacier, it still presents as a spectacular view. And, of course, with its dirt, looks a lot different to some of the other glaciers. We put the drone up and flew it over the top, which really shows off how the carving takes place and how water runs between the ice. Just enjoy the filming of the drone. Next it was on to Ketchikan Arm and its crown jewel, the Dawes Glacier. It's a 30-mile long fjord off Stevens Passage and offers a less travelled alternative to Tracey Arm. Ketchikan Arm is a narrow waterway and demands skilled navigation. As you venture deeper, the fjord transforms into a floating gallery of icebergs and massive chunks of Dawes Glacier that have been carved off. These icebergs, often in mesmerizing shades of blue, can be thousands of years old. Many grounded bergs near the anchorages provide harbour seals basking in the sun. Dawes Glacier itself is a tidewater behemoth originating from the Ketchikan icefield at over 5,200 feet elevation and flows northwest for 20 miles before it plunges into the emerald waters. Its face spans a half a mile wide and it towers over 360 feet, with half as much of it, or at least as much, submerged. We were lucky to hear thunderous cracks, although we didn't manage to film it. It's truly spectacular. After we left, we decided we needed to get some glacial ice off an iceberg for our cocktails. So, some delicate manoeuvring from the aft station, while our friend Dave was tasked with recovering the ice off the iceberg. We managed to recover quite a large amount of ice.
wasn't filming then. Do you want me to go and get a big screwdriver? Like a chisel.
No, we're going to lose it because it's going to go dry.
We're preparing to go into Ford's Terra, and I'll just zoom in so that you can see that's that little very narrow U shape, which you should only do at high water slack. So there's a sailboat just coming out and we are waiting for him, and then we are going to go in on high water slack. You ready, Captain?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm just waiting for, there's two other boats, one coming out, one going to come by behind us and go through, and we'll follow him. Ford's Terra is a breathtaking narrow fjord in Alaska off the Ketchikan Arm and Alaska's Inside Passage. It's about 40 miles southeast of Juneau. It's carved by ancient glaciers and flanked by 3,000-foot granite cliffs and cascading waterfalls. It's named after the naval officer Harry Ford, who narrowly escaped its treacherous currents. The tricky entrance, with its swift currents and rocky narrows, demands skilled navigation, but the reward is an untouched paradise. We were inside, we took our dinghy down to see how the currents looked after slack water, and you can see how turbulent the water's become. That is obviously not the time to be going in here. With a strong dinghy we were able to have a look, but you certainly don't want to be going down there when it is not slack water.
Hey, what a life, hey? What a life!
What are we doing?
We're out on the tender in Ford's Terra.
And it's spectacular, yes, spectacular.
A little terrifying coming in.
Yeah, it was terrifying coming in. The packer factor was going ahead.
But not you were just
No,
loving it.
we're in, and this is seriously the most beautiful place we've seen so far. And I know we keep saying that every place we go to, we say this was the most beautiful, but seriously, this is the most beautiful.
We also took the dinghy down to the entrance of Ford's Terror to have a look at it when it was much calmer. You get a much better idea of the entrance, and this was at low water. You see the waterfall, which you aim at when you're on the way out. Here you can see an iceberg grounded, because you still get icebergs coming up here from Endicott. We enjoyed 3 beautiful days at anchor in Ford's Terror, a quite spectacular spot to hang out. It is amazing. And here, with the launch of the drone, I was still unable to get over the top of the cliffs. Well, that's all for this volume of our trip to Alaska this year. Our next video will be volume 3, which will include going up to Glacier National Park, as well as our trip down to Juneau, Thorn Bay, and a bunch of other places as we make our way south and back towards Anacortes. In the meantime, here's some drone footage of the drone over the top of Dawes Glacier at the top of the head of Endicott Arm. It's really quite amazing to get close up to these glaciers with the drone.